Streetpilots Garage here. So some of you have had questions about the subframe plate install, as it looked really easy when I did it, and some people are saying that the holes aren't lining up. What some people don't know is that when you don't have a subframe plate in place, your frame actually has a lot of flex to it. So you can actually pull it and flex it. In addition, your swing arm and your shocks will put vertical pressure onto the subframe, causing it kind of to twist in a sense without having the rigidity of a subframe plate. That's why on our plates we made the bolt holes very tight so it wouldn't have a lot of plate. If you're mounting and it doesn't feel like it's lining up, you may have to do the following thing. Jack up your bike ever so slightly, and you may have to just loosen or remove your shock bolts to allow for more flex in the subframe plate. Now, how to safely remove your shocks? It's fairly simple. Elevate your bike up until your rear wheel is just about to come off the ground, but it's not off the ground because initially you have tension from the weight of the bike on the swing arm. And then when you actually lift off the ground, your swing arm puts on tension onto the shocks when it's dangling. So you just want to have your rear wheel just before it comes off the ground so there's no tension in your shocks, and then the shock bolts will come off very easily. When your shock bolts are loosened, or in some cases removed, you'll be able to flex and move the subframe, move and flex the frame as much as you need to install the subframe plate. And then once you have installed the subframe plate and secured it, you can bolt your shocks right back up. So let me demonstrate. So right now I'm safely jacking the bike and my rear wheel is off the ground, which is now a little bit too high because now I have the swing arm pulling the tension downwards and creating tension on the shocks. So what we're going to do is lower it just that it touches the ground, but it's not actually putting all its weight onto the wheel, right about there. Now with this, you should have almost no tension in your shock bolts when you're taking them out. If they're fighting you, you have to just readjust your wheel. So if once you broke them loose, you can take them out by hand, you have no tension left. And now with the bolts out, like so, I have a lot more flex in the plate, and I will demonstrate the flex over here.
See, the reason I want super is that's what I wrote to you first. And I also
Find a good point to grab onto.
I love it. Love where it rides. Love everything.
And you can see that your plate will actually have the flex. Now, if I remove the other side, I'll have even more flex on the subframe, which will ease you to bolt things in. So now, as you can see, both my left and right shocks are completely disconnected from the frame. And if I need to, I can flex this out as much as I need to. So when you mount the plate, if your holes don't want to line up, what you can do is start one loosely, don't tighten all the way down, and then put a screwdriver in or a pry bar and just kind of wiggle it out a little bit through the hole, pulling out the frame, and then secure another bolt down below and then get them all in. It will all line up because all of our frames are the same. It's just your frame twists depending on how long you've had the subframe out and also what kind of shocks you're running. There's a lot of things that may affect the positioning of your subframe plate to your frame, but it's a very easy remedy.